And now a 12-point Pelican lead.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
The defense has to make an adjustment. They've got to string together some stops, or at the very least, try to force this team into some bad shots.
And that one's good. 8 points for Davis.
The offense has a better flow, and it actually looks better here in the second quarter.
Yeah, they've steadied themselves a little bit, trying to close this gap.
The feed to Selmans. Buckets, defended by Paul. 26 seconds left in the first half of the game.
Well, an 8-rebound advantage like the one they have now is always going to swing the score hard in that team's direction.
And that's certainly been the case today. Their rebounding has made a huge difference.
Now Farmar, right now averaging 7 points a game. Paul, right side, pass to Farmar. Davis with a screen on Holiday. Yep, it goes in. The Pelican lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Farmar.
Defense just has to fight over the top of those screens.
Especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, he doesn't miss too many open shots.
That'll do it for the first half. Pelicans lead by 10. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Certainly good numbers from you shooting the ball in the first half. What has been your approach on offense?
I'm just trying to let the game come to me. When I don't try to force it on offense, good things happen. That's why I've had success here early on. Yeah.
Slow and steady wins the race, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter started.
Hey guys, listen up. We've got a good lead, but lots of basketball left to play. The work we've been doing on the offensive glass has been phenomenal. We're getting so many second chances, and it's really wearing them down. Something we're doing well right now is spacing and shot selection, and we're shooting it pretty well. Getting open, getting looks, and making sure to make the pass when you don't see something. There's no reason the lead shouldn't be even bigger right now, and I'm counting on you guys to make sure that it gets bigger, and soon.
And the third quarter about ready to get underway. And you know, Buckets has really been making it happen, guys.
And what was most impressive was that his decision-making and shot-taking was very disciplined and efficient. Really an excellent half.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense has given him, and he's not trying to do too much. I love the flow and rhythm he's playing with here.
Clippers trail by 10, setting the floor for the Clippers. CP3 at point with Redick there at the backcourt. Griffin at the 4 with Hawes at the 5. Los Angeles has gotten 1 of 6 three-pointers to drop since coming out of the locker room at halftime. Paul kicks to Griffin. Left side, Griffin. Redick. Off the mark, had a chance to trim it to single digits.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady work they've been doing on the interior, no question, and that's, I think, the main reason they have this lead.
New Orleans making some changes here. Anderson. He's checked in for Evans.
Story on J.J. Redick. How the last month of basketball was for him. He's putting up 14 points a night, 3 assists, and 2 rebounds. And you really can't find much fault with him as far as his performances lately.
Yeah, he's been very, very dependable, steady, doing pretty much everything they've asked of him.
Here's buckets. Davis with the block. Now here's Redick, guarded closely. Now Griffin inside. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession.
Glenn Davis suffered that broken bone to his foot towards the end of the 2013 season, and that motivated him to slim down. He got down to the lightest weight he'd been since 8th grade, believe it or not, and still one of the strongest players in the league.
John Selmans, he's checked in for New Orleans.
Well, he had that height separation there on the mid-range jump shot. Really good job of taking advantage of that.
And here is Paul. He's got 6. He dishes it to Griffin. All up top, Selmans covering. Shot clock at 5. That's good. And that's now 19 points for Blake Griffin.
And one of the things that's amazing with Big Baby Davis is how quick on his feet he is for his size. I mean, this guy's, 260, 65 pounds. He's great at covering pick and rolls. He slides in to take charges, and with his strength, you're not going to back him down on the block. Forget about that.
It's stolen by Selmans. Barnes against Holiday. Anderson a screen on Barnes. Here's buckets. Here's Withey. And the layup's good off the glass. Withey's got the lead up to 12 now for the Pelicans. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stats here for New Orleans?
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ballgame.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
Hey, take a look at Big Baby. No question a good defender, Steve. Offensively, he can struggle, though, to finish over length.
Well, he's skilled. He's a good passer, and he can shoot from mid-range. But he's a below-the-rim type player, so he has to figure out how to use his body to get to the rim.
Passes to Redick. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in.
Very clever passing. That was just beautifully done.
Last outing for the New Orleans Pelicans. It was a loss to the Nuggets.
It was a little bit surprising that the game got away from them because for long stretches, they were the better team.
They really were. Outplayed them. If you looked only at the stat sheet, you'd have a hard time figuring out how they lost it. But it was a case of a few intangibles that didn't play out in their favor that made all the difference.
Dishes it to Redick. Fades away. That's in, and the Pelican lead is cut down to just 12 points on the bucket from Blake Griffin.
Yeah, he's almost putting on a little show out there with that fadeaway jumper.
Shot on the wing, and again another basket good from Buckets. Buckets got 31 points.
That's really set them apart today, guys. That success from the mid-range.
Well, these are two teams that clearly you've seen the difference in offensive philosophies here.
Paul dishes to Davis. To the wing right side. Redick inside the line. The rebound by Anderson.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Back to Holiday. And the pass to Buckets. Another shot. And the layup is good. Withey's got 4 this quarter.
They're straying away from the three-point game here in the second half. And that's fine as long as they're on the lead and they're getting good shots. They've decided not to take nearly as many three-pointers in this half.
That shot by Griffin, no good.
In this quarter, he's really been off the mark. He just looks a little bit unsettled.
No good from Buckets.
Boy, for my taste, he's far too inconsistent with that shot. I mean, he's got to make those if he's going to take his game to the next level.
Oh, and there's the alley-oop. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
And maybe that'll give this team a little bit of their edge back.
Anderson a screen on Paul. And Holiday, here we go. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in.
Virtually uncontested. It's nice to be able to add to the lead without really having to work for it.
Redick with the bucket. Redick's got his second bucket tonight. Here's Holiday. No good. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. Pelicans on top. They lead by 14. And time for the short break, and stay right where you are.
Net.
And our assist of the game here on replay, presented by State Farm. And this wasn't his only assist, folks. 9 assists on the night over the course of the game from Paul.
Kevin, it's been one great pass after another for him. Just a huge amount of scoring for that team's offense generated by his court vision.
You're up. Let's go.
Time to do my thing.
Clippers trailed by 21. Evans and Davis are your small and power forwards. Holiday out there with Austin Rivers, and it's Asik in at the 5, patrolling the paint. So that's the group out there for New Orleans.
Been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
And it's Evans in the corner. Back to Holiday. Kicks to Rivers. Feeds to Holiday. Just 5 to shoot. Shoots from the line, and he knocks down the jumper. Holiday's got 10 points in just the second half.
We've seen a noticeable. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
A platoon swap here for New Orleans. The Clippers also changing it up. Glenn Davis is checked in for Hawes. Barnes comes in for Jamal Crawford. And Chris Douglas-Roberts subbed in for Chris Paul. There's 1:47 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Griffin. Stolen by Anderson and out of bounds as the Clippers gain possession.
Now, severe lack of awareness on his part. He had no idea he was near the out-of-bounds line.
Griffin against Anderson from 15 feet away, and that one's good. And now it's 27 points for Blake Griffin.
You know, his ability is matched only by his energy, guys. I mean, he's usually in the middle of everything for his team.
Buckets, and that one's good.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, dominating performance for the Pelicans.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, Stephen Clark. An all-around dominant performance. Clark, and you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
I certainly did, and they just cracked it open and made it an NC. No contest.
Yeah, I like that. And so the hard work and effort paying off tonight, putting another win in the books. That'll be win number 27.
And today they righted the ship after getting beaten in their first matchup against these guys. A critical win for them.
It sets up what should be a fantastic finale to the season series. A lot of bragging rights on the line that night.
You look at the stats and you'll see just how dominant a game this was for buckets. It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket just seems to be incredibly wide.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense has given him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
41 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. No good.
You know, his finishing ability leaves a lot to be desired, guys. He needs to take it to the basket stronger.
Davis, the pass to Douglas-Roberts. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Yeah, the referee's all over that one.
No doubt about it. Clearly a foul. Nothing to argue about there.
No good on the free throw. He hits the second from the line. 29 seconds left in the fourth. Fredette, the pass to Buckets. Shot from the top of the key, and it comes off the front of the rim. This one for 3. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Earlier in the game, they held a 25-point lead. The layup off target. No good. So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Tyreek, congratulations on a great win tonight. Were you planning on coming out with such an aggressive mindset?
Definitely.